The BMW G82 M4 competition starts at around $85,000 new, but most well-optioned models quickly climb past $95,000. If you buy a lightly used example, expect to spend anywhere from $70,000 to $85,000, depending on the year, mileage, and options. The biggest expense of owning an M4 isn't actually fuel or maintenance, it's depreciation. While values have held up relatively well compared to some luxury performance cars, most owners can still expect to lose several $1,000s in value over the course of a year, especially if they're driving the car regularly. If you buy smart and choose a well-maintained used example, depreciation becomes much less painful. But if you're buying brand new, this will likely be your single biggest ownership cost. By the end of this video, we'll total every major expense to see what it really costs to own a G82 M4 competition for 1 year. The moment you drive your M4 off the lot, the next bill shows up: insurance. Because the G82 M4 competition makes over 500 horsepower and carries a high replacement value, insurance companies consider it a high-risk performance car. Depending on your age, driving history, and where you live, annual premiums can range anywhere from $2,000 to well over $5,000. For younger drivers, insurance alone can cost more than an entire used daily driver. Before buying an M4, getting an insurance quote should be one of the first things you do. Next comes fuel, and the M4 definitely isn't cheap to feed. The twin-turbo S58 engine requires premium fuel, and if you're driving around 12,000 miles per year, fuel costs can easily reach $2,500 to $3,500 annually, depending on gas prices and how aggressively you drive. The harder you enjoy the car, the faster your fuel budget disappears. It's one of those costs that doesn't seem bad week by week, but over a full year it adds up surprisingly fast. Maintenance is where many people expect huge bills, but the G82 M4 is actually more predictable than older BMW M cars. Routine maintenance includes oil changes, engine air filters, cabin filters, brake fluid service, and scheduled inspections. If you're taking the car to a BMW dealership, expect routine maintenance to cost roughly $800 to $1,500 per year, depending on mileage and the services performed. The good news is that staying on top of maintenance is far cheaper than ignoring it. Skipping basic service on a high-performance engine almost always leads to much larger repair bills later. Then there are the tires. With over 500 horsepower going to the rear wheels, or all four wheels on the X-Drive model, the M4 can go through performance tires much faster than a normal car. A quality set of Michelin Pilot Sport or Pirelli Performance tires can cost $1,500 to over $2,000 installed. If you drive aggressively or enjoy spirited launches, don't expect them to last nearly as long as they would on a regular sedan. For many owners, tires become one of the biggest recurring expenses every year. Performance cars don't just wear through tires, they also burn through brakes. The G82 M4 competition comes with massive high-performance brakes designed to stop over 500 horsepower. Replacing brake pads and rotors isn't cheap. Depending on whether you use OEM or aftermarket parts, a full brake service can easily cost $2,000 to $4,000. If you take the car to track days or drive aggressively, you'll be replacing them much sooner than the average owner. Fortunately, the G82 M4 competition has proven to be much more reliable than many older BMW M cars. The S58 engine has built a strong reputation so far, but no performance car is immune to unexpected repairs. Electronics, suspension components, sensors, or cooling system parts can still fail, especially as the car ages or racks up miles. Most owners won't experience major issues in the first few years, but it's still smart to keep an emergency repair fund. Even one unexpected repair can easily cost over $1,000. Registration and taxes are expenses many buyers completely forget about. Because the M4 is an expensive performance car, registration fees are often much higher than an average sedan. Depending on where you live, annual registration can range from a few $100s to well over $1,000, and property taxes or vehicle taxes in some states can push ownership costs even higher. It's not the biggest expense on this list, but it's one more bill that comes with owning a high-end sports car. Here's the expense that surprises most people. Depreciation usually costs more than maintenance, fuel, and insurance combined. Even though the G82 M4 has held its value better than many luxury performance cars, losing $5,000 to $10,000 in value over a year isn't unusual, depending on market conditions, mileage, and how you bought the car. The good news? Buying used lets someone else absorb the biggest depreciation hit, making ownership much more affordable in the long run. So, what does it actually cost to own a BMW G82 M4 competition for 1 year? Let's add everything up. Insurance, around $3,500. Fuel, roughly $3,000. Routine maintenance, about $1,200. Tires, around $1,800. Brakes, if they're needed, approximately $2,500. Registration and fees, around $700. And finally, depreciation, by far the biggest expense, can easily be around $7,000 in a typical year, depending on how you bought the car and current market conditions. That brings the estimated annual cost of ownership to about $19,700. That's over $1,600 every month, before even thinking about your car payment. Does that mean the M4 competition isn't worth it? Not necessarily. You're getting one of the best all-around performance cars BMW has ever built. The S58 engine has earned a strong reputation, the performance is incredible, and compared to older M cars, reliability has been encouraging. But owning an M4 is about more than just making the monthly payment. If you're not prepared for the real cost of insurance, fuel, maintenance, and depreciation, this dream car can become a financial headache. If you are prepared, though, the G82 M4 competition delivers an ownership experience that's hard to match. Subscribe to Costly Cars if you want to know what it really costs to own your dream car before you buy it.